G'day, I'm Brett. Should your coolant level suddenly drop, your engine may only have minutes before it potentially overheats, warps, cracks or seizes. You may scan your temperature gauge regularly, but it's not a guarantee that you'll pick up a rising needle in time before damage is done. Also, in some instances, the temperature sender requires coolant around it in order to read the temperature correctly. If this is drained away, then it's only reading the surrounding air, potentially allowing the temperature to drop on the gauge. So to protect against this, I'm installing an engine saver low coolant alarm. Engine savers are sold here in Australia. This model for the Defender 200 or 300 TDI series comes with a screw-in radiator sensor, which replaces a blanking plug in the top of the radiator. The sensor allows for a small current to pass through the coolant to earth, forming a circuit. If the coolant level drops below this level, the circuit is broken, and after a short delay, an alarm sounds and a warning light comes on the dash, warning you of potentially an issue such as a blown coolant hose or a punctured radiator. As I had a complete engine rebuild at the beginning of 2017, this is cheap insurance to protect my investment. So let's look at the installation.
Before installation, disconnect your negative battery lead. The kit comes complete with everything you'll need, including the alarm unit, the sensor wire, and cable ties.
Be sure to do this only with a cold engine, and you will lose some coolant, so try and make the swap very quick.
Tighten the sensor to a maximum of half a turn.
Next, attach the sender wire which is provided and route it back through the grommet in your firewall behind your dash. Now you can install the main unit wherever you want, but behind the dash is probably a good spot. The main unit has the LED light as well as the plug for the sender to fit into, and it's also completely encapsulated and sealed and comes with the audible alarm. So to do this, you need to remove the dash. That's 4 screws, 2 in the sides and 2 in the bottom. And then you'll probably want to unclip your speedometer cable, push it in really tightly, the little white part. And then you can move the dash over a bit easier. So here you should be able to access your sender cable and pull that through like that. Now you need to find a positive feed from the ignition switch and then back to negative. So it's recommended that you have a 1 amp fuse in line. So I've got this little inline fuse block with the 1 amp fuse, so I can connect into any ignition switch circuit that can carry the load. The unit is installed, and now I just need to find a place to mount the warning light. I'm mounting it directly in the middle of the dash, so it's easily viewable from the driver's position. Next, you insert a little clip into the front of the dash. Pushes in nicely. And then the light is fitted from the back and clips in behind this. Finally, I add the low coolant sticker on the outside. And the installation's complete. So when you start the engine, the unit will do a short self-test with a quick beep and flash of the light. That just lets you know everything's working okay. If the coolant does drop below the sensor level, after about a 4-second delay, the alarm will sound and light will come on the dash, so you know there's an issue. It's cheap insurance to protect your engine and very useful to have, such as if you're in a remote area and you puncture your hose, you don't want to lose all your coolant and then have to use drinking water to top it up. So you might have a chance of pulling up quick and using a bucket or tarp to save what you can. So very happy, very simple installation. So it's been 5 months since I installed my low coolant alarm. In that time I've had only 2 issues. The first was due to the installation. I introduced some air into the coolant system, which over the following 1.5 months would cause the alarm to sound on occasion while I was driving, normally for around 15 seconds or so before the air would shift away from the sensor and it would stop. After that point in time, it's very rare the alarm will sound, normally only when I start the engine from cold or if I'm parked on a slope and any air in the coolant system has moved up towards the sensor again. The second issue was as I wired the positive feed to the gauges circuit. The gauges circuit shares the same circuit as the indicator. So for some reason, when I had the indicator on some cases, the alarm would start sounding and flashing in unison with the indicator. So I can probably fix that just by changing the positive feed to a separate ignition switched feed. Other than those 2 issues, I'm very happy with the system. It's there for a purpose, so when I am traveling, especially in remote areas, if the alarm sounds and stays on, then I know there's most likely a real issue occurring. So, thanks for watching.
Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Visit my website roamingtheoutback.com for Australian travel destinations, vehicle preparation ideas and gear reviews. If you'd like to help support the creation of new videos, please consider becoming a Patreon. Click on the Patreon button on the screen now. Thanks.